Hey everybody, how's it going? So today I want to talk about something that I missed in the last video, but I think is the most important thing of them all, and that is creating a network of trust when you are trying to change the world in any way, shape, or form. So in the last video, I was reading an article, and in that article, there were 2 points that should have stood out more than any other point. The first is when they said that the people who want to be able to fix your car, the independents, those people just care about getting access to the telematics system because they want to serve you ads. And then second thing somebody said there was that this is a quote money grab. Again, someone who's referring to the manufacturers and the dealers, the people that'll charge you $3,000 when the independent mechanic will fix your problem for $200. The independent is the one that's going for a money grab. What's incredibly important here is not getting into the weeds. It's not getting to a point where you have to worry about having a factual argument, a truthful argument, or above all, that anybody will actually even listen to your argument. Once you get to the point where somebody is reviewing the facts here and reviewing these facts there, you've actually already lost, because people who are not intimately knowledgeable about these issues are going to just toss it up and go, well, person X said A, person Y said B, I guess it's a wash, and they will go about their day. Most people are not like the people that are watching this YouTube channel. They don't have freedom as a paramount value in their lives, and they're not willing to dig to figure out the truth of an issue. And even if they do, they may get it wrong. What you want is to live the type of life where you have people's trust, so that when somebody slanders you, when somebody talks bad about your industry, you as a person, your business, your character, they can say, no, I know that person. That's not James. That's not Chris. That's not Lewis. That's not Steve. I know them. I know you're lying. This is incredibly important. I've thought about this for a long period of time. Why is it that every time Right to Repair gets mentioned somewhere, that my channel gets mentioned, or I get mentioned in the news, television, any place that this gets mentioned as an issue, other people's YouTube videos, my name always shows up. I don't get it. I'm not particularly charismatic. I don't think I'm amazingly well spoken. I don't think I'm a great human being. And I most certainly am not the most qualified when it comes to discussing the politics of this issue or anything else. One of the things that I think has helped me along the way a lot is that the slander that gets thrown by most people who negatively discuss the people who are advocates for this industry or for this cause doesn't stick. When they say, well, he just cares about fixing stuff for himself. He doesn't care if you're able to do it. He just cares about getting famous and blah, blah, blah. It's easy to see it's not true. In 2009, I was making posts on forums telling people the difference between a B133EW03 and a B133EW04 so people don't buy the wrong model that doesn't fit their A1237 thinking it's for an A1278. I have over 600 videos, half of which were made before I had 1,000 subscribers, back when nobody watched this channel and there was no chance of making money from it, showing you how to fix your own stuff. I have a 150-page guide that I put together for free and I've released to the internet so that everybody can learn in a basic and simple way how to do what I do. I have a complete database that I pay people to contribute to that demonstrates every single symptom, every single problem, every single solution on how to do what I do. Hundreds of thousands of people have saved hundreds to thousands of dollars doing something themselves off of content that we've made. So when somebody says, those people are lying to you, they're cheating you, they don't care about you, Lewis just wants to help himself. There are hundreds of thousands of people out there that have trust for me because they saved money off of my work. I didn't, do 90% of it on camera and leave the 10% that allows you to do it at home out of the video unless you paid me. I included it all in there. When it comes to employees, I have a similar mindset with this. When it comes to a network of trust, there was this one person that I had hired back about almost 10 years ago now, one of my best employees ever. And she had worked at a pharmacy. And this pharmacy took advantage of people who were new immigrants. They told her that minimum wage was about $5 an hour. It wasn't. It was like 9 or 10 at the time. And they paid her $6 an hour. Also, if she was late by even 5 minutes, they would dock her pay 3 hours out of her whole shift, which is completely illegal. But they would do this type of stuff. And, when she was working here, she was making about $21, eventually $23 per hour. And she was a great employee. And she wanted to go to college because she wanted to go work at a hospital. She wanted to be a medical technician. And if she showed up a few hours late because she was going to college, she would ask me to cut it off of her shift. And I'd say, no, I'll pay for the whole thing. Don't worry about it. You do an amazing job here. You're like family. Just as long as you get your work done for the day, I don't care if you spend a few hours doing your homework or go to college. I want to be clear that these things are not things that are done because I'm a good human being. And the reason I say that is not even to be self-deprecating. I say that because when if you put me on a pedestal of any kind or give me any credit, it makes it difficult to believe that this is reproducible. If you think that I'm an amazing person, you're not going to do the same things yourself because you may not see yourself as an amazing person. And it's important that you understand that these are not things that are done out of the goodness of my heart. This is called building a network of trust because you never know at what point in your life a large company, somebody who wants to get revenge on you, somebody who has a lot of money, or maybe somebody who's just simply better positioned than you because you have made a mistake or done something stupid, is going to try to put your head in a chopping block. And when your head is on that chopping block, the question that's going to be the most important, what's going to be the most paramount, how many people trust you? How many people believe that you are worth having your head taken off of that chopping block? Because if most of the people around you in society believe that your head does not belong in that chopping block because they know who you are as a human being, because they care about you, because you have tangibly helped their lives in some way, shape, or form, they will come to your aid. And they're not going to look into the nitty gritty details. Again, most people don't bother looking into the details of things, even when they should. Even when you're right, they're not going to look into the details, much less when you're wrong. What they're going to look at is, do I trust that person? Most people, at the end of the day, they get most of what they think based on the first 30 seconds of interaction with you. And based on those first 30 seconds, they are going to decide to lean in and listen to what you have to say or do and walk away, regardless of whether you're right or wrong. It's going to have something to do with that. And what's really important is that they trust you. So for me, I think part of what's helped me move Right to Repair forward as much as I have is that I spent thousands upon thousands of hours helping other people fix things for free without asking anything in return prior to ever advocating for Right to Repair. Before those words were mentioned on this channel, there were hundreds of videos, thousands of hours of content, all different types of guides and other stuff posted to help people do exactly what I do. So when I started talking about this, I didn't have to beat this into the heads of thousands of people. I didn't have to sit all these people down. These people that innately trusted me because I helped them save hundreds or thousands of dollars. Maybe I helped them save their parents' data. Maybe they actually made money off of this content, were immediately on board like that. It's called working at the speed of trust. If I have an employee that it performs poorly and they decide to create slander about me and they decide to, I don't know, report me to the Department of Labor, make things up, or do all sorts of crazy shit like that, there are dozens of people like that past employee that I had who had that experience where they were an immigrant, they didn't speak good English, had low self-confidence, they didn't really believe in themselves, that got paid less than minimum wage by somebody that would take 3 hours off of their pay if they were 5 minutes late. And they remember that I could have probably gotten away with doing something similar, but I didn't. I decided to treat them like a human being. I decided to treat them differently. And what are you doing, you crazy cat? I treated them differently. And oh my God, Blackberry, cut that. She does this thing where she's like, row, row, wow. It's really weird. No, I treated her like a human being. I paid her more than I had to based on her skill set. And I didn't take advantage of her when I could have in terms of paying her below minimum wage because she didn't know what that was. And when she decided to go to college, I didn't cut her pay for it. I didn't do that because I'm a good human being. I did that because I understand the way the world works. Someday, my head is going to be on that chopping block. I don't know what for, I don't know why, but I know that I tend to push the boundary. I want to push things forward. I want to change the world, and I'm going to burn bridges doing it. God knows I have with the Farm Bureau in the past week. And when that time comes, I want as many people to be able to help me move my goals forward as humanly possible, which is why it is important to have that network of trust, to be able to work at the speed of trust. And this is an incredibly important thing for everybody in the automotive industry to understand. What they did in 2020 with those advertisements that the Coalition for Safe and Secure Data ran, they called you all rapists. Make no mistake, what they did is they called all of you car mechanics, people that want to be able to fix your own vehicles, rapists. They had somebody in a parking lot with evil music playing slowly walk up on a woman that was by herself. She turns around, she looks frightened, and they imply that she gets beaten. There was another commercial where a garage door is being raised open because somebody who had worked on this person's car hacked into it, got access to all this different shit, hacked the garage door opener, and was creepily sneaking into this woman's home. They're they're doing this in plain daylight. They paid $25 million to have these ads put on television, and it's all public knowledge. And in that article that they released, what they said was that you guys want to install advertisements on people's vehicles. It's not that you want to fix their cars. It's not that you want to save them money. It's not that you simply want to be able to keep doing what you've always been doing without being locked out by the manufacturer. It's that you want to install ads on their car. You are doing this as a quote, money grab. It's right there in the article, right there for everybody to read. And here's the thing. At the end of the day, most people, they're not going to fact check this. They lead busy lives. They have too much to do. They have to worry about inflation. They have to worry about whether they have a job. They have to worry about paying their bills. They have to worry about raising their children. They have to worry about managing their relationships. They have to deal with their stress. There's a lot of things that normal people are worrying about. Even if you're right, and even if they're wrong, it doesn't matter because most people are not going to fact check. What they will remember at the end of the day, what will stick, is how their mechanic treated them, is what their experience was like with that industry. Because when they say these mechanics are rapists, they'll remember. Was this mechanic the type of person that was whistling at me when I walked by and staring at my boobs? Or was it somebody that treated me with respect? That's what's going to matter. When they talk about how you are doing this as a money grab, what they're going to remember is whether or not you charge them additional money over what you told them it would cost over the phone or upon initial inspection and just had kind of like a made-up reason for it, or whether you stuck to your word. When it comes to advertising, they're going to remember whether or not they got spam email from you for 6 months after they had service done by you, or if you just emailed them a receipt and that was that. They're going to remember their interactions with you. What's going to matter is whether or not they trust you. Because if they trust you, if you have a relationship with all these customers, if you have been a good person in your life, as an employer as often as you could, as a business owner as often as you could, when they lie about you, and they will lie because they are losing the argument right now, they do not have the factual basis for what it is they're saying. They are making things up because they know that that's the only way that freedom has a chance of losing. When they make things up, what's going to matter is at the end of the day, if the people who they're trying to pull the wool over the eyes of, what do they believe? What were their experiences like with you? Because if their experience was an amazing one, they're going to say, same way they say for me, that's not Lewis. What do you mean he only cares about making money for himself? I walked into his shop, and when there was a problem with my machine, he could have charged me $200 for a new display cable. He could have charged me $500 for a new screen. You know what he did? He bent the pin back, and he showed me what I did wrong, and he told me how I could not do it again when I opened my own computer. That's happened thousands of times at this store, and that's not done because I'm a good human being. That's not done because I'm generous. That's not done because I'm selfless. That's not done because I even care about you. It's done because I care about me. I care about my industry. I care about my business. And I understand that someday my head will be on that chopping block. Someday it's going to happen. And when it happens, I want to be prepared for it with as many people out there that trust me because they know who I am. When they say, that guy's a horrible employer, he abuses all these different employees and blah, 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 and some horrible story gets written about me because one person is salty, I know that I have dozens of people that will come to my defense, just like that person who I just told you about, who had a garbage job where they were abused. They didn't know what was going on at the time. They would have accepted it here, and I told them why it was not okay. That person, who now has a job as a medical technician, making more money than I could ever afford to pay them, because they were able to go to school, because they were able to do these things during the time that they maybe wouldn't have been able to if they were forced to work because they weren't getting paid for it. All of this matters. All of this is going to contribute. This is how you make a movement move forward. This is how you get over the lies. This is how you get over the slander. This is how you deal with things in a society where people don't have time to fact check things. You need to move at the speed of trust. You need to create a network of trust. And the way you make a network of trust is by getting your people, your customers, your employees, your viewers, all of the people around you in your life to believe that at the end of the day, when you're saying something, it is true. When you bring up an issue, it is true. And when somebody slanders you, well, it must be false because I know her, I know him, and that's not who he is, so now I know you're lying. That's how you defeat slander. That's how you defeat this kind of crap. And make no mistake, there is going to be more like this as time goes on. This is only the very beginning. We have so many hills to climb. There is way more corruption that we are dealing with here than what you simply see me discussing with stuff, videos that I'm talking about where these farm bills are getting tossed out left and right for asinine reasons, or people are voting against them who are supposed to be supported. There's so much that I wish I could tell you. I wish I was privy to tell you at this point in time. But there's going to be a lot more. And the way we're going to defeat this is by surrounding ourselves with people who know who we are. But the thing is, we need to let them know who we are in our interactions every single day. And it's important that people in the automotive industry understand this. There's a mechanic that I went to just last week because somebody at the gas station screwed up something on my car. Long story. I had a issue with a tire and during a blizzard, and it was a very long story. But he tells me a price over the phone. I show up. He does the work faster than he said, and he actually misbills me. He billed me, I think, about $50 or so less. It was about $30 or $50 less. I forget because it's late than what I actually should have paid. And he explained everything to me before and after. I left this guy 5-star review on every single platform. And if anybody were to say something bad about that person, I'm honestly probably not even going to look deeply into their story. My inclination is going to say, here's what my experience was. I don't believe you. I know that man. No. That's the way a lot of us work. And if I ever have a problem again, even if he costs twice as much as everybody else, I'm going to him because of the way that they treated me. Everybody in the automotive industry needs to be treating their customers like that right now. Because if you don't, this slander is going to work. They're not running this type of slander with the budgets that they have because they don't think it'll work. They're doing it because they think there's a decent chance that it will. And we need to ensure that that type of thing never does. That what will move this movement forward the fastest is ensuring that that slander never lands. They want to put ads on your car. They're rapists. They're just doing it as a money grab. Make sure that you're running your business in a manner where nobody has any chance of believing this about you. And if people actually do, that there are enough people that are willing to come out to defend you. This is an investment, and it's an investment you need to start making very, very early. The first time that I had a serious issue with this was in June or July of 2016, when Kilpatrick and Townsend called me so that I would have my videos taken down from YouTube. They didn't like the fact that I had videos with schematics in them. They were hired by Apple, and what they were supposed to do is get me to take down my content. And there was a good chance that if they filed DMCA claims and everything, that my stuff would be gone. I wouldn't have this YouTube channel. They could probably strike at least 600. People get strikes on 3 videos and they're gone. There's over 600 that could be striked on here if they wanted to. And many people came to my defense. Thousands upon thousands upon thousands of people. That wasn't because I was factually correct. It wasn't because I was, quote, in the right. It may not sound fair, but none of that actually matters. What matters is that there were thousands of people out there that saved thousands of dollars, that saved their data, that saved their memories, that saved their machines when they needed it. And they knew that what I was doing was a net good for the world. So they came to my defense. That's why I still have this YouTube channel. But I couldn't envision that. In 2009, when I was posting on these forums, in 2013 and 14, when I started uploading a lot of this stuff, I couldn't envision, well, the reason you're doing this now is so that 5 or 7 years from now, when a multi-trillion-dollar company tries to screw you, people will come to your defense. No, you don't know when the trust is going to come in handy. And you don't know what you're doing it for. But you want to start building up those reserves in advance, as much as you can. Because it will come back to you, I assure you. That's it for today. And as always, I hope you learned something. I apologize that this video is very long-winded. I have a cat next to me. And I'll be honest with you, I haven't been looking at the camera on my phone. I've actually been looking at the screen so that I could see the cat. Because let's face it, if it's a choice between seeing myself or a kitty, I'd much rather see the kitty. And he's very cute, and he loves me. So I will leave it at that. If I was smart, I would edit this video so that it wasn't a mess and all over the place. But, I mean, you know what to expect from this channel at this point. And that's it for today. And as always, I hope you learned something. I'll see you all in the next video. Bye now.